It's a touching song, but you couldn't blame these children if they struggle to match the lyrics with their surroundings. Pupils at Long Hai, one of an estimated 300 schools for migrant children, nestled on the dusty outskirts of Beijing, they're more likely to see smog than blue sky. Building sites have replaced anything that resembled beauty, and for most, the only friends they have are the ones in this classroom. That's because these kids are treated largely as second-class citizens in their country's capital. Most regular public schools in the city won't accept them, despite government pressure to do so. Few of them are entitled to health insurance, and most face discrimination simply because they're from a different part of the country.
This is one of the few licensed schools for the children of migrant workers here in Beijing. There are about 1,700 children studying at this school, and they come from every corner of China.
Long Hai is one of Beijing's better migrant schools. The kids have desks, chairs and textbooks, and their classrooms are heated. But the facilities still pale in comparison to Beijing's public schools. Classrooms are crowded, the teachers overworked and underpaid, and there are few extracurricular activities.
The most difficult thing for us is that our teaching facilities have to be improved and our teachers' wages have to be increased. It's unfair that the children here don't have the same access to education as local kids.
8-year-old Su Yitong is one of the estimated 500,000 migrant children living in Beijing. She joined her parents here a year ago from the northern province of Hebei.
There is nobody to look after me in my hometown. My grandparents can't help me with my studies. I miss my grandmother, but I like Beijing because there is Tiananmen Square and the Great Wall here.
Yitong's mother makes pendants and scrolls to sell in the city. Unlike most parents who migrate for work in China, she decided to bring her daughter with her.
I wanted my daughter to live with us. Her grandparents are illiterate and can help her with her studies. And I think it's better for her if her dad and I look after her.
Government efforts to encourage public schools to take in more migrant children, with the offer of extra funding if they do, has been widely welcomed. But Yitong's teacher, herself a migrant from the southern province of Hunan, says it's not enough.
I think the government and society should care more about these kids. The students in our school face discrimination by local people. Why do we have so many students here? That's because if they were to go to public schools, they would be pushed aside by teachers and students there.
Until that attitude changes, schools like this will remain the only option for China's millions of migrant children. Tom Mackenzie, BON.
Well, Sylvia, one of the things that may not have come across fully in that piece is just how cold these schools are. Tom's saying there's minimal heating inside the classroom, outside nothing at all, and these are the conditions the kids are being asked to study in.
Right, and these parents also pay around $100 per year, and comparatively, that's a pretty large amount for some families who just earn $100 a month.
That's right, the irony being that the poorest families have to pay private tuition fees that other families simply don't have to pay.
Right, and also these teachers are paid just under $150 a month, which is about a third of what a public school teacher could get.
That's right, and that's mostly because they're from other provinces. It's very hard for people outside Beijing to get a job at a Beijing school because they don't have the Beijing hukou or residence permit that we've talked about the problems associated with that before here on BON News.
Right.
Now do stay with us. BON News continues with our question of the day.